I did like it.
What are you rating it?
Where you going? When is the day going to be when we literally get the same score?
As long as you keep going first, probably never.
My score can't sway your score because you just want to fucking make me argue with you.
So what?
You're just one of those guys.
I've never like blacked out and just killed a bunch of fat girls and started sewing their skin so I could look like a beautiful woman. But we know two guys that have, and they were sober. And you can too. In Silence of the Lambs.
And we're live.
This is different.
Welcome back.
Things have changed around here.
You like it?
I love it.
Dude, I built it 2 days ago? 3 days? No, I built it last Saturday.
Okay.
And then I've been like tweaking it throughout the days. And I just keep coming back here after it's been set up and just like turning it on, just looking at it.
I'm just looking at it. I mean, people are really going to take us a lot more serious, huh?
We got a Crown Cinema sign in the back.
That's right. That was long overdue.
Yeah, it took a long time, but it's rewarding. It's very rewarding.
This will be our best episode yet.
Let's go. Speaking of which, it's spooky season.
It is. It is, yeah. I'm scared already.
I'm not a big horror movie fan, though. Like, I have not seen a lot of horror movies.
I get scared of horror movies.
So you haven't seen a lot either?
No, I mean, I try not to, but now I'm like, okay, you're 24 years old. Put your big boy britches on and go watch a scary movie. You can handle it. It's just a movie.
Have you seen The Conjuring?
If I have, then I think my mind has just completely erased it from ever seeing it.
Because that's an actually good horror movie. Like, okay. I watched that and I was scared. It's creepy, but I was like, okay, that was actually a good movie.
Okay. I don't even remember what The Conjuring is about.
I don't really remember the storyline of it. I just remember being good.
Thinking, wow, that was a really good movie.
Yeah, because you see horror movies and it's trash, But,
yeah. No, I mean, hey, I went and saw a recent scary movie. It was that Smile movie.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah. And like that, I thought that was a pretty good movie. The ending of it got to me. It had a pretty good twist, pretty dark twist. So I was a fan of that. And they were like, because if you're going to do jump scares, you got to do it right. They got to like truly be unpredictable. Like they can't be too frequent, that kind of thing. So I thought that was a decent movie. But no, other than that, I haven't seen another scary movie since.
Damn, because I remember you telling me about Smile, and you said it was actually really good. You told me and Mercedes to go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I never did.
It's good. It's good.
I like Get Out. Like, I seen that, but that's not really scary.
Those are psychological thrillers to me.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's always going to be borderline, I feel like, but... Yeah, I don't know. Like when it comes to like, I'll never watch the Saw movies because
apparently the Saw 10 movie's legit. The new one.
Apparently the last one was legit.
Apparently the one before that one was legit.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I remember being traumatized as a kid because I don't know. I was like 9 years old. I think I was going to hang out on my trampoline, and the TV was just left on downstairs. And like when I was like going out the door, like there was a Saw movie going on. And the scene was this guy, like his arms and his legs are like just being twisted. Like just, it never stops. And I was so morbidly captivated by it that I couldn't keep my eyes off the screen. And I just remember I was like, and then I ended up finding out that was one of the worst deaths ever constructed in a Saw movie. And I just happened to see it as like a 9-year-old kid.
What an introduction.
Yeah, well, and obviously what a way to just be like, wow, I'm never going to watch those movies.
Yeah, it's because the Saw movies are about a guy that has people play games, but they're all dead, like, lethal consequences.
What he's doing is like he's going after bad people and he's putting them through just awful... horrendous situations, and he always says that there's a way out, but there's like pretty much not. And his way of justifying what he does is that like they always had a chance to survive, so if they died it was their fault. I was like, all right, dude, like...
So you've seen one? in full.
No. But like I remember like, again, I was like morbidly curious, I think a few years later, and I was like, just kind of saying, I was like, what could these movies even be about? Because they're so popular. So it's like, there's no way it's just a dude torturing people. It's no way it's just this like clown on a bike riding by and that's it. And so I looked into it a little bit. Again, I kept my distance, but I wanted to see. And so that's what it is. He's an anti-hero of some sorts. And like all the people that he kills, like they're corrupt, they're liars, they're thieves, murderers, whatever. Like he's going after, like, he's not going after just normal innocent people.
Oh,
which makes it a little bit better.
Why is it scary then? I feel like it's not scary if you don't want the bad people.
Because it's still like an animal caught in a trap, and you feel bad for that animal because there's no way they're going to get out of it.
Yeah, it's probably like a Seven situation.
Yeah, like you feel bad for what, like at the end of the day, like, well, for me, having not seen much of it, I remember like that I've seen 2 saw traps. I saw that first one, and the second one, like, I just was like, you know what, maybe I can handle it. And I was like 12, 13 years old. And this one was like 2 people are like separated from a window. And the only way that one of them can live is like whoever can sacrifice the most flesh off their body. So like it's a guy and a girl, and the guy is like cutting out just, I don't know, like a spleen out of his stomach. Jesus. And then the girl's like cutting her arm off, and like they have to like put it on a scale, and they have like 2 minutes to do it. And I saw that, and I was like, okay, never mind. Still can't handle it.
I'm kind of curious to watch one now.
I mean, honestly, you know what? I'm 24. Like, I'm sure I could handle it now.
Hey, you got your big boy pants on, you said.
Yeah, my big boy britches. I don't know. It would probably be like a popular episode, because I mean, this is the 10th one?
Yeah. So
it must have done pretty well for itself. And I know people that have told me like, yeah, I've seen every single Saw movie.
Oh, is it in theaters? It's still playing in the theaters.
Yeah.
Saw X. 2-hour horror and crime movie. In a nutshell, it's disturbing, graphic, and brutal.
Yes, I can attest to that.
Maybe I don't know, because I don't like movies that are just like really gory, like, and like disgustingly gory. Like I like fun, Tarantino action where it's like over the top violence, but it's not like torturing somebody. It's like shoot somebody, his head blows up.
Yeah, this is like torture. Like you're watching somebody want to die for like 2 minutes straight. They're just like, oh my God, please make it end. That's what a lot of these scenes are.
I think it's called body horror, is a type of horror movie. And essentially what that is, there was a new one that came out, and it was about this cannibal couple that would like hang out with people, and then they would like start to hook up like and have a threesome, but then the couple would just like start to eat the other person. So like I remember there was like a trailer or a scene that I saw on YouTube, and the guy was like sucking a girl's finger, and then he just chopped it off, just ate it. And I'm like, that is just so disturbing. And I'm like, I can't get myself to enjoy like watching that. Like, why would I ever choose to see that? That just seems brutal.
Yeah, to hell with the plot. I mean, what the hell is going on? Yeah,
it's with Timothée Chalamet too.
Yeah,
he was the
Bones
cannibal
and all. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a movie.
I saw that movie.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I saw it.
Was it good?
I liked it, but I also it wasn't as gory as Saw, I didn't think. I mean, Saw is just next level. But
so you saw it. That's cool.
Yeah, Bones and all. I mean, like, people were disgusted by the fact that they were making cannibalism seem
normal,
justified. And I was like, that's not really what they're doing. Like, this is obviously fiction. It's just like these people have a disease to where, like, they have to eat. They pretty much have to, like, obtain human blood, like a vampire or whatever, but like they have to eat human flesh because that's just their condition. Like if they don't do it, the crazier they go.
Yeah, I think some people forget the fact that a movie doesn't always have a message that is trying to tell you that this is okay. Sometimes it's just a what if these people had a disease that they
what
had
if
to
this
eat
was
people.
a thing? Yeah.
Yeah, like what if?
Yeah.
Not.
That's how I looked at it.
Yeah, it's not like cannibals should be treated a little bit better.
I remember because when I saw the movie, there was actually like a girl in one of my classes, and she was in the same theater as me. And so like the next day when she saw me in class, she was like, "What did you think about it?" I was like, I mean, is pretty crazy idea to have for a movie, but like I thought it was interesting that they took it like a romantic way. And she was like, yeah, I didn't like how they romanticized cannibalism. I was like, well, that's not really what they're doing. To me, it was like they're just showing two messed up people who feel completely alone and isolated in this world, and they're the only ones that like can accept each other for who they are. Mm-hmm. And like there's another, like in the movie, there's like a twist where there's some people that really aren't cannibals. Like they don't have the same disease as them, but like they still enjoy like the murdering of people and eating them after. And like you can like smell they could smell who had the same problem as them. And so like at one point there's a guy that like is trying to join their camp, and they know that he is doing this to kill people. Like, because they hate that they have to kill people. But like that's their curse. Because if they don't, they just go fucking insane. I mean, it's a crazy concept, I thought.
Is that a beer in your hand? I thought it's not October 30th.
You've been waiting on this.
I have been.
Yeah. It was like 50 something odd days. But then I went to the Texas A&M Arkansas game. And my family was just, my sister mainly was just like, hey, please stop. Like, please just have a beer with me. And she just kept going and going. And honestly, being at the game, I was like, damn, like, I want to drink. This is hell. Arkansas, I'm an Arkansas fan. We were getting our shit rocked. We were in the A&M section. I was just not having a good time. And you know what? Shout out to Coors, not an official sponsor of CRWN Cinema, but keep the mountains blue. It totally put me at a much more better state of mind, I'll say.
You said she paid you to drink?
Yeah, she paid me $100 too. That too.
She really wanted you to drink.
Neither here nor there. I also wanted to drink.
Fair.
We didn't make it.
There are some occasions where not drinking is not the right move.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even anything crazy. I think I had 4 beers at that game.
And that's like barely a buzz.
Yeah, like it wasn't anything crazy. Some would hear that and be like, oh, so what was even the point of drinking? Well, I continued to have a great weekend despite the loss. Cowboys came back the next day, put on a great performance. It was nice to have a little bit of tequila in my system when that was going. But yes, I lost, but I also 50 days of no drinking and working out twice a day. I'm all right with that.
I'm curious, what benefits did you get from doing it? Not completing it, but doing it. Like, did you see some benefits changing, or like things that happen with your mindset or stuff? Yeah,
no, it helps. Like, it helps you make better habits. Like, I was waking up early. I mean, I still am. Like, I mean, my job still like requires that. But like, if it's a Tuesday and everybody is like want to hang out or whatever, it's like, and drink, I can like still hang out with them and not drink. I thought that was like a big takeaway from it. It was like, okay, like you really don't have to drink to have a good time.
Do you see any lasting effects? I've heard a lot of people that have went through it say that it changed their life, or that like after the fact they had these lasting effects of, I don't know, their mindset, I guess, or just.
I think it's put me on a better routine, like just staying in shape. I mean, that buzz is definitely better than like anything alcohol could do for me. So, I mean, that like was nice. I mean, okay, like you have a hard day at work and you just do not feel like working out, but then you actually get in the gym or do whatever you got to do. And after it's all said and done, you're like, damn, like I'm so happy I did that. Like that's a great buzz right there. So,
you know what's crazy about that too? I just watched a podcast by, he's a neuroscientist. His name is Andrew Huberman. He does a podcast that just breaks down new stuff that's happening in science, a bunch of stuff like that. He had one that was talking about the brain's ability to get better at using your willpower and your tenacity of like, you know, your discipline essentially. Like you can, if you practice discipline and like doing a 75 hard type challenge like that where it sucks, and all the times that you like do not want to do it but you do it anyway, that activates a certain part of your brain and you get better at accessing it as you practice it. So he preached like try to do micro sucks, like do things like when you just did like an hour on the bike, do 100 jumping jacks afterward, despite you just being like, I'm tired, I just want to wrap this workout up. If you could just do 100 more jumping jacks after that, now you're practicing that willpower, and then that gets better over time. So you have to like start to change it up because you begin to get more discipline and you're able to do things easier that are harder. Which
I think that was something that I guess I kind of A, learned about myself, or B, remembered, because I remember, you know, I played sports in high school, and that, I mean, if you're having a bad day, it doesn't matter. You still got to work out, you know, with your team. And I kind of forgot that I had that ability because, I mean, I would be in the gym, and for the first 30 minutes, I'm like, God, like, I'm just going to cut this short. Like, all I need is the 45 minutes minimum, and I guess I did whatever I did. But then, and I don't know if this is like the healthiest thing in the world, I would be so mad at myself for even thinking about quitting that I would go even harder. And then next thing I know, I've been in the gym for like 2.5 hours. And I'm just like, yeah, like you can always get over that hump. And I think that's just with anything. I mean, for me, just, you know, if you got to wake up early and go to work, maybe the first hour or 2 hours, you're just like, God, like, I do not want to be here. There's no way I'm going to get through the rest of this day. But then once you actually like get in the flow of what you got going on, you look up and you're like, damn, like, I'm so happy that I woke up today. And so I guess I learned that as well. And that happens pretty much every day for me. And I feel like that's like something that a lot of people have. They just, you know, when you wake up and all you want to do is just lay back down and go to sleep. But then if you do that, if you're like me, if I wake up at 7 and then I go back to bed because I know I really don't have anything to do, and then I get up at like 10, I'm like, God, this is like such a disgustingly late start to my day. And I hate that. I hate that feeling where I'm like, I could have done something.
Yeah, that's my biggest fault is I will sleep in. I love to stay up late and I hate to wake up early. And so every time, like, but I always feel like shit. Like whenever I like wake up and it's like a weekend or maybe even at, like before work, and I wake up as early as I wanted to before work and I kind of sleep in for an extra 30 minutes to an hour, I always still feel like shit, but I still do it. And I'm like, why am I to keep doing this? Like in the moment when I wake up, I'm like, I'll just close my eyes. I'm like, that's fine. I got nothing. That's my issue. If I have something to do, I will wake up. Like this week, yesterday, when we were supposed to record. I'm kind of glad you moved it to today because I woke up really early that day and I went to bed late the night before. But even then, like that was a day that I did not want to get up because I had barely any sleep that night. But I can do it when I have to. But it's the issue is if I don't have anything to do that morning, I just chill out until it happens.
Yeah.
That's my discipline that I gotta get better at, is being able to just fucking get up just because.
Yeah. I'm definitely guilty of the sleeping for another 30 minutes, but I think my cheat code is that I'll set my alarm for like 4:30 in the morning
and just keep snoozing it.
Yeah. And so then by the time like 5:30's arrived, and it's like, you know what? Like I've done this like too many times. Like it's pointless. It's so stupid. That 30 minutes is gone in like 5 minutes.
And it's also not good for your sleep because it's better for you to just set your time of the 30 minutes now, so that way you get your full sleep cycle. So that way you're not waking up, going back to bed, waking up, going back to bed, because that like resets your brain to make it groggy.
Maybe, yeah.
Because you fall back into a sleep cycle and you jump out of it quick.
I'll try that out.
I think I heard a while ago, David Dobrik said that he does that. He'll like set an alarm for like 6 a.m. and get up at 9 a.m., but he plans to get up at 9, but he likes to just hit snooze.
Yeah, that's
and
what I do.
Fall back to sleep. It feels good.
That's what I do, yeah.
It feels good in the moment, and then it feels bad when you are like, God damn it, I'm such a lazy piece of shit.
Kind of. I mean, I don't feel that way because, I mean, I think it just depends on, you know, what time you really think you are ready to, like, accomplish a day. Realistically, I know that I could start every day at 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
And so if I just set my alarm at, like, 5 in the morning, like, if I don't have anything to do that day, but I still want to, like, do my thing, then, like, I'll set my alarm at 5, and then by the time 7's here, it's like, yeah, like, all right, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just got to fight off that, like, go back to sleep demon for, like, the next hour. But I also think that's, like, why the best start to a great day is with a nice sweat. Mm-hmm. And so, like, just waking up and just getting out of bed, getting over it, chug some water, and then, like, go for a run. And then by the time you get back, it's like, okay, well, now I definitely can't go back to sleep because it's too late. Like, it would just be a waste of a day. So,
yeah,
I guess I learned that.
All right. Well,
today we are watching Silence of the Lambs.
Yep.
I couldn't remember if it was The Shining or The Silence of the Lambs, but The Silence of the Lambs, yeah.
I think The Shining would be a good pick for this because what me and Greg's plan here is the next couple episodes we're going to watch scary movies lead up to Halloween.
Yes.
So if we're kicking it off with Silence of the Lambs, which I have never seen.
I have seen it, but it was, again, I feel like I've said this plenty of times on this podcast. It was forever ago. I know it's about like a FBI lady, and she's trying to, like, track down a killer, and she's going through a well-known serial killer, Hannibal, and he's, like, giving her advice, but he's also, like, got his own morbid plans, and he's, like, just honestly a wicked genius. So
here's the description. Jodie Foster stars as Clarice Starling, a top student at the FBI's training academy. Jack Crawford wants Clarice to interview Dr. Hannibal Lecter, a brilliant psychiatrist who is also a violent psychopath, serving life behind bars for various acts of murder and cannibalism. Crawford believes that Lecter may have insight into a case, and that Starling, as an attractive young woman, may be just the bait to draw him out.
Hannibal the Cannibal.
Oh, Anthony Hopkins.
Phenomenal actor.
This is like a classic movie that is widely known as being great.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a shitty horror movie. This is like a classic movie.
Yeah.
Nominated for Academy Award for Best Picture, Best Actor in a Leading Role, which is pretty rare for a horror movie.
I don't know.
It's a drama thriller.
Yeah. To me, I feel like this is just a, this is where horror movies can be great because, like, this is more of like an Alfred Hitchcock type movie to me. And Alfred Hitchcock, while his movies have terrified the shit out of me in the past, they're also just respectable, cinematic masterpieces. I remember being traumatized by Psycho when I was a kid. Like, have you seen Psycho?
No.
Okay. Well,
I've only seen North by Northwest.
Okay. Well, Psycho, it's got this one infamous scene where, like, the lady is stabbing in the shower. Mm-hmm. I remember after seeing that movie with my family, I think I was 7 or 8 years old, I was taking a shower before I went to bed, and my brother, being the dickhead big brother that he is, he had this trick down where he would, like, get his football cards or credit card or any kind of card, and he would slide it through the lock in the door, and he could bust open. Yeah. But he would do it so quietly, and then he would just...
That's a horrible thing to do to somebody in the shower.
It was bad. And so, I mean, but, he lost because then I just refused to take showers, and then I smelled like shit.
How long did you go without taking a shower?
It really wasn't that long. I think it was like a few days. It wasn't like weeks or anything. But then I refused to take showers unless it was in my parents' bathroom.
Hey, if you got a pool though and you're a kid, that's what the pool's for. Just jump in the pool, take a shower.
I had
Remember
a lake.
those days?
I had a lake.
The lake.
But that's still just grimy, nasty.
Yeah, that's grimy.
Yeah.
That's what I do sometimes. Like, as a kid, didn't want to take a shower, just go jump in the pool.
Yeah.
That was good enough.
But then, okay, but Psycho, as scary as it was a great plot. Like, it has one of the coolest original twists in a movie. I think since cinema was like really just starting to like become big at that time, because it was like 1960 something, and like the ending of that movie, you're just like, no shit, like, but it makes so much sense, when you see it. But again, you got to watch it first.
That's why Hitchcock is,
Hitchcock's, I mean, he's one of my favorites.
That's why is recognized as one of the greats, or as the greatest.
Yeah.
Because
Dial M for Murder, that's one of my favorite movies too.
Yeah, I got to watch some. You got to pick some out for me.
Yeah. Alfred Hitchcock, he was good. He was good. And like, honestly, I think he inspired like the Twilight Zone. And I love that show. I used to watch that random thing that I did, like when my first year of living at the Sigma Chi house, me and Chris, my old roommate, shout out, we just watched the Twilight Zone. We would go participate in some cool activities, and then we'd come back and come watch the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I seen
and just be mind blown.
They showed us a couple episodes in school, but that's it. I haven't watched episodes.
They have some great episodes. That's a very smart, well written show.
I remember there was one of the episodes where it was like they're trying to do plastic surgery on this like disgusting looking person. The doctors are trying to like do this plastic surgery because she was so ugly, and they're trying to make her look pretty, and then they like undo her thing, and she's actually a beautiful woman, but everybody else is ugly. So it's like
it was stuff like that. And I remember one that like kind of stuck with me because me and Chris were like laughing about it. But there was one episode where like this guy dies, and he goes into the afterlife, and he thinks he's in heaven because he gets to gamble all the time. Like he's like but he always wins. He gets any girl he wants. Like he's like getting as drunk, blah blah blah, like as he wants. And then at the end, he like tells his like supervisor, he's like, "Hey, like listen, like I'm having a great time here, but can I try the other place? Like why don't you send me down there? Like I want something different." And the guy like looks at him. He was like, "But sir, what makes you think this isn't the other place?" And then like that was the twist. He was in hell.
Yeah.
And then I told Chris, I was like, fuck that. If I was in hell and that was hell, like, dude, feed me. Listen to me. Bear with me. Like, feed me as much ecstasy as you want. Like, I want to just get as blasted as possible. Because why not? You can't OD.
The issue is that it gets so unfulfilling. I think that's obviously the message of it.
That's totally the message. But if I'm able to just pop like 1 million ecstasy pills and just
start tripping out of your mind.
Yeah. So that was my cheat code. Although I'm sure in reality that would not work.
No.
It is hell. But I also started oh my God. I literally just started yesterday.
Black Mirror.
No. The book that we were talking about. Genius Comedy?
Oh, tragic comedy. I know, but yeah.
The Divine Comedy.
Yeah, there you go.
My apologies. I swear I just started it yesterday, but because I finished Killers of the Flower Moon.
Good.
It's all right. But the book is going to be way different than the movie because the book is just literal facts. It's like a research paper.
Okay.
It was good. Story's good.
Yeah.
But like there's so many parts that like are just like footnotes where you're like, wait, no, that's insane. But like he's only using evidence to describe what's going on. He's not implying any type of bias or anything like that.
Yeah, it's not a story or a take. It's a
right. So Martin
news article.
Scorsese's take is going to be much different than the story because he'll actually like bring the characters to life.
He'll pick a side. He'll tell a message.
Yeah. And so I finished that. And so I just started this book, completely different than what I thought it was going to be. But I'm kind of into it. It's because it was written in like the 1200s. And it's poetry.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly like reading the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to like figure out, because obviously the language was just, the way that they spoke was completely different. But once you like actually catch on to it, it's pretty interesting.
So it's just a bunch of poems.
No, it's like, it's all a story, but it's written as a poem. So it's like in stanzas and everything like that.
It's got deep meanings and
every stanza. Yeah. Like everything means something, especially like in the poetic world. But thankfully in this book, at the beginning of like each, I'm trying to remember, but like pretty much at the beginning of each chapter, it explains what's about to happen, like written out like normally. And then you read the poem. And then at the end, it has like notes for you to read about each stanza and what each note means. And like what each stanza means.
Is that in the original, or that's just the special copy you got?
This is like, it's well translated and like
so it helps you out.
Yeah, because like there's like a lot of characters, because it's a totally different culture. Religious, there's just like a lot of characters in these types of plays that meant a lot to people at that time. I can't think of anything specifically because like, dude, I'm only like 50 pages in, but like there's names that are being dropped of like religious figures that meant a lot to storytelling at that time.
Yeah.
And so the notes like kind of remind you like, this is why it's interesting that he saw him in hell and like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Because it's like,
you don't know, you don't, there's a lot of references that we just wouldn't get being in 2023. So, but
I want to read it. So after you read it, let me know, and I definitely do want to read it.
It's long.
It is long.
It's really long.
How thick is it?
I think it's like 900 some pages.
Damn.
It's
big bold text or little bitty words?
Like I'll meet you in the middle.
All right.
Yeah, but it's like
average. Probably.
Yeah, it's like poems. So like the stanzas, and then there's like big gaps, and then big gaps. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Silence of the Lambs. That's this will be poetic.
Let's do it. You ready?
I'm ready.
And we're back. We just watched The Silence of the Lambs. I thought, my first reaction to it is I was thinking, I'm trying to figure this out. This is what I'm stuck on, trying to figure out what the meaning of the movie. So it seemed like her character the whole time was not respected by men. She was struggling in this world where, men are in charge and they always kind of look down on her. Most of the movie's from her perspective, and only Hannibal Lecter will like hear her out and like respect her. Like literally the only person, and her partner, I guess, her professor, he respected her too, I guess, but it also seemed like he kind of wanted her a little bit, like he wanted to have sex with her. Because Hannibal told that to her, and then like he kind of touched her hand all, flirtatiously, it seemed like there at the end. So maybe he didn't really respect her. Maybe he did just want to hook up with her. So I thought at the end it would have something to do with like her overcoming this problem she has of like not being respected by men. And then the ending, it kind of just fell flat to me a little bit, where it's just like a shootout. It was definitely like the build up to it was definitely pretty cool, like the anticipation of that last scene. But then she just shot him and killed him, and then it's like that was it, wrapped up. So I'm trying to figure out what was the meaning of this movie. Like, what was that all about? Why was there all the shots of her being degraded by men? Like, what did that mean? Like at the end of the movie, like something had to be wrapped up there. And I'm struggling trying to figure that out right now.
Well, one thing is, going off of that, so in the beginning when he's telling her like, you have to be careful when you're talking to Hannibal, because he can get in your head really bad. And Hannibal does a really good job of, as his character, he's really good at like getting in their heads. He's a former psychiatrist, so he knows how the human mind works. And so one thing that you could take away from it, that I guess I do, is that he gets really involved in her personal situation. He's really good about drawing it out, but then he's also really good about just dropping off random thoughts. Like, he doesn't know what what's his name? Her boss's.
I couldn't tell
It's John Croc or something.
No, I don't know.
It's something like that. I don't know. But
her professor?
He just like drops that bomb on her that like, are you sure your boss isn't trying to just fuck you? And I think that just like kind of catches her so off guard. And then in a way that might be him getting into her head.
Yeah.
Because now ever since, from that point on, she's going to think that everything that he does, every instruction he gives her is like a way for him to like maybe like make the next move, when in reality that probably isn't the case at all. But like now that he just like kind of planted that in her brain while extracting so much like vulnerable information from her, that she just automatically thinks like, well, Hannibal seems to have me pretty well figured out. Maybe he just has all these other people figured out as well. And that's like what that's what the main detective was telling her to be careful of in the beginning, because you don't want to let him get in your head. And sure enough, maybe she did. Maybe all the guy, because pretty much any scene she walks into a room, there's like this, just it appears to be like this overreaction of like every guy in the room is just staring at her. Maybe that's Hector like kind of being in her head, because like you said, it's from her perspective for the most part anyways.
Yeah, it is from her perspective, and that is true. Maybe he was playing her just to get out, and he was kind of planting these ideas in her head and be like, hey, why don't you look out for this? This is probably there. Because like you can probably, any chick could probably, anybody can infer things that aren't there by just having your own preconceived notions about it. You can think things are going on when they're really not, just because your body's anticipating it, so you'll see the littlest sign of that being true.
Which another way that he would have gotten into her head was when she first visits him and she leaves and the guy just gets a facial right then and there. Perfect aim. She is disgusted. She ends up crying. And then the next time she comes back, she finds out that Hannibal killed him somehow.
Right.
And so then she's like, oh, wow. In this vulnerable state that she might be in, she might be thinking, Hannibal's a friend.
Yeah.
And he actually cares about me and sees me as a person, but those could just be his mind games, which you really have to think about, because this dude kills people and tears their faces off and wears them. So does he really have your best interests? But that was just something that I kind of took away from it.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. That seems like that could be true. But also, so let's just say that he's not. I was thinking about this. So let's just say that he is actually trying to help her out. Like he actually does believe in her, maybe. Him being a psychiatrist, he asked her, he told her at the end, are the lambs silent now? Do you hear, did the screaming of the lambs stop? Because she talked about when she was a kid, how the lambs, when she lived at a farm, they were slaughtering lambs and she was so scared of it and hated it. So she ran off. So I was thinking, okay, maybe she sees herself as that lamb who's like, doesn't have much control over her life. Maybe she's getting taken advantage of and she's going to put out to slaughter. Things aren't going to be good for her. So maybe she feels like she's that lamb. So maybe she's always trying to protect the lamb. Like she's trying to protect herself, trying to protect the girl. But really she might see herself as the lamb. And so that trauma she had as a kid might be pouring over to where like she sees all these men as like the slaughterhouse guys, like the butchers, potentially. And so when he said, are the lambs silent now, the way the movie kind of ended, it doesn't feel like it's accomplished. Like the mission, even though the mission was complete, right? It wasn't like a resolution or like anything crazy happening at the end. It just kind of found him, killed him, done.
Yeah.
And so that could also kind of mirror how it is in real life, where if you think doing some type of action or getting something or achieving something will resolve your past trauma, it's not true. The lambs won't be silent until you fix yourself. Like you fix your inside And if Hannibal's a psychiatrist, he obviously knows this, where like outside things aren't going to help you out truly deep down. What only you can help yourself deep down. So maybe that was the play, is like the movie left off making you feel like how she feels right now, where she's like, damn, like I did the job. I don't feel any better.
I think one thing that I could kind of interpret is that her character, as badass as she is, when it comes to like high stake situations, such as like when she's about to finally find the killer, and she's like going through each door and, you know, just trying to make the arrest, her face is just so terrified. Like, she depicts fear so well. I mean, she is obviously just horrified by what the situation she is. She's a lone woman in this psychopathic killer's house
who kills women,
and yeah, and she's also like kind of still a trainee, and like it's been made obvious in the beginning of the movie that she still lacks the strength of like making the arrest. Like, she's not good at the action side. The reason she got recruited for this mission was because she's good up here, and she's good at getting into people's heads and like kind of bringing out information from them. So with that being said, you can make that connection when she's talking about when she's a kid, she's looking to save the lambs, but they're too terrified to actually leave. And then she finally gets one, but it's too heavy, meaning maybe it's like too heavy of a burden to bear. And so kind of what you're saying is the ending isn't going to fix anything for her, because at the end of the day, she saw some of the most disgusting and horrific acts a human could possibly make. And so like, how could you possibly be satisfied? Even if you did catch this guy, now you know that there's an even worse person out there like Hannibal. And on top of that, there's hundreds of other people that you don't even know about yet that are going to just commit the most like horrific crimes. And so like, no, the lambs are not silenced. Like, she is terrified because now she's gotten a taste of how dark the world, or how dark this world like really is.
Yeah. I wonder if the Hannibal movie's good, the sequel.
I don't know.
Does it go with the story, or is it like an add-on they use to make more money?
Well,
because it came out in 2001, and this one came out in 91, 10 years later.
It came out in 91, and then there was that, and then there's the other one with, oh my goodness, Fight Club. What's his name?
Ed
Norton. He was in another, I think he might have even helped write one of the Hannibal movies.
Oh, really?
I think it was the Dragon one.
Red Dragon or whatever.
I think it's Red Dragon.
Is that a Hannibal Lecter? Oh, there's so like it's a franchise.
There's multiple. Deal. Yeah, they like really went crazy with his character.
Hannibal Lecter. I mean, he's a good character. He's interesting. Keeps you hooked. Yeah, there's Hannibal. There's Hannibal Rising. There's Red Dragon.
He's so... I just feel like we've seen so many like spoofs of his character, though, that it's actually hard for me to see a movie where it's like the original sinister, cynical character like him. You know, he's just so calm but evil and like unpredictable, and he's also like so smart that like me watching it, especially now, and it's just like, dude, like, I don't know. It's a little over dramatic to me, but I could totally understand that, like, first seeing this and not ever seeing a character like this before, you would find it terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's definitely scary and it's eerie from the point of view. Like, I think the point of view shots are perfectly executed because you feel anxious. Like, when she first walks down to go see Hannibal, that point of view shot is creepy. It like reminded me of the time whenever we were little. Remember when Slender Man came out? Playing that game was so fucking scary because it was just your point of view and you only saw the flashlight view, right? And you just turn around and he's fucking there and you're freaking out. So it's kind of like that same feeling where you're like anticipating, like you don't know and you can't really control, you know, what's happening. You just kind of having to move forward.
Which they did the same thing in the house.
Yes.
So, I mean, she has full control when she's going to visit Hannibal because he's in his cell.
Yeah.
But she's still, like, kind of scared because she's never seen this before.
And you went through like 4 to 6 gates to get down there.
Yeah, like they have him buried down there at the end of the lowest level. So it's obvious that this is the worst person in this entire psychiatric ward.
Mm-hmm.
But then they kind of mirror that at the end when she's having to like catch down or chase down her killer. And now she's at the bottom of his level, but she has no control. In fact, he finally takes control, turns the lights off, and now she's completely lost in the dark. She's a terrified lamb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is.
Yeah. But she got lucky.
Yeah.
Can't believe he didn't
quick
have
draw.
that gun cock. Yeah, I mean, I guess she must have not been that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, how terrifying, bro. Pitch black, you're down in a basement somewhere where there's a fucking serial killer.
Yeah, you've already seen skin peeled.
You saw a rotten body in a bathtub.
Yeah, like you know that this guy is a madman.
That had to have reeked.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They even like kind of show how bad this all smells whenever they look into the first body and they put the whatever under their nose. I assume that's going to be like the strong smelling like alcohol to just help you get through how bad the body's going to smell when they unzip it.
Yeah. I wonder what that is. That's a real thing, I wonder. It's got to be, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Let's look up nose. What would that be called? Nose cream for bad smell. Police.
Nose jock.
Stink bomb odor blocker is for anyone looking to block odors.
Yeah.
Used and loved by nurses, doctors, law enforcement, morticians, commuters, and others who deal with bad smells.
Dead bodies, a.k.a.
They also do Vick's Vapo rub. Maybe that's what that was.
Yeah.
Or something similar to that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, dude, dealing with dead bodies, bro. Rotting.
Especially because, I mean, this body was like found, they said it was found from the water, which means, I mean, who knows how long it's like been in there. Like, it's probably weeks old. And I mean, that thing smells bad.
Yeah. Oh, I just thought of something too. You know how they said that the bodies, he would get fatter girls because it's easier they would get fatter girls and then he would shrink them down to get like starve them so they got skinny so their skin's loose so it's easier to cut it. It makes sense to why. This is a little detail that they just said that I just remembered. Whenever he said, because we laughed at it when he was like, he killed the first girl. First girl was pretty. Killed the second girl. And he said, you can see he started to get lazy because he got a bigger girl that wasn't as pretty in the cop size, right?
He had the face.
What?
Well, the pretty girl, he got the face. Now he just needed,
And so, maybe he wanted the face because he wanted a pretty girl. So he's like, okay, I'm going to cut her up. And then he realized, damn, it's kind of hard to cut her skin. I need bigger girls. So I can shrink them down. Yeah. So that little detail shows like that's his progression of why he did it.
Yeah, and maybe he was inspired by Hannibal, who at this point, maybe we don't know like fully what he's capable of, but the fact that he already knew how to like cut that officer's face off, maybe he learned that from Hannibal himself.
Yeah, I think Hannibal had a lot to do with
Bill creating this guy.
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill.
What's Bill the Butcher? That's a character.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Did I drop my phone? Oh, it's right here. Bill the Butcher. Maybe that.
I think that's from a Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
Bill the Butcher.
It's from the Many Gangs of New York, I think.
Yeah, he's the Washington Street Gang.
Yeah.
Later became known as the Bowery Gang. So William Poole, also known as Bill the Butcher.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Dude, I haven't seen. Bill the Butcher was played by Daniel Day-Lewis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that movie my freshman year of college.
I don't think I've seen a lot of Daniel Day-Lewis movies. Like I've seen, what's it called? There Will Be Blood.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard that's a movie that you have to watch multiple times to really get. You have to really appreciate, I guess. Because Tarantino thought the movie was okay. Then he watched it again. And he was like, holy shit, this movie's amazing. And the first time I watched it, I thought it was just okay too. I was like, not my thing.
Yeah. I remember I tried to watch it one time, but I think I was either really tired or a little hungover. And I fell asleep during
one of those times, yeah. Yeah, whenever you're hungover, that's not the time to watch like a like a try hard mind movie.
Yeah.
That's when you just want to put on something stupid.
Yeah.
And just be brain dead for a couple
like
hours.
You definitely don't want to watch Silence of the Lambs.
No.
When you're battling a hangover.
This is a movie I think that on another watch is probably pretty good.
It's pretty good just because I think you can pick up a little bit more because the writing and like the close-up shots, like it's all so like in your face, but you really got to pay attention to it.
Yeah. But so before she even met Hannibal though, it was close-up shots, and those close-up shots make you really see somebody staring at you.
Yeah.
So even then before that, so maybe Hannibal was right, because before he even mentioned that, you still have that sense of like guys staring at her, because every dude that talks to her, it's a fucking close-up of him and you see him staring into the camera at you.
Yeah.
And it's weird. You never see her. Sometimes she does, but most of the time she's looking off camera.
I don't know. Part of me wonders if that was just like every character, because this is like a messed up case that they're going through. And so every character that's on the camera is involved with it somehow. So it's kind of just to see like how exactly they feel about this. Like, like Jodie Foster, her character is like wanting to do the right thing, but she's also like, I don't know. To me, she just looks so scared most of the time.
Yeah.
But like that kind of adds to the bravery, because you know that she's just absolutely terrified, but she still wants to get to the bottom of this.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's other characters that are like fascinated by it. Like the guys she goes to at like the bug library or whatever you want to call it. Their close-ups are just like excited and honestly kind of turned on. I mean, one guy even asks her on a date.
Yeah,
and it's
that's another time where she's getting hit on though by a dude. All the dudes are like hitting on her, and it's like they're not taking her serious.
Yeah.
They're not being professional with her.
The doctor's like turned on that he finally has like a good-looking girl coming to visit his hospital.
Yeah. So there's definitely a lot of that. Like,
but
it's pretty
Hannibal
apparent.
is just cold, and like every time he's looking, he's just studying and he's not moving that much. And I think that's just what it's going like. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to watch it again. I think there's more to be uncovered if you watch it again.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's a great movie. Obviously, there's great filmmaking, craftsmanship in this movie where they, planted seeds throughout it, because it just is that kind of movie. It's not a silly little simple movie. It's a pretty well thought out movie. So I gotta believe there's more if you watch it again.
Well, it's based on a book too. I bet the book goes into better detail about like the characters and everything.
Yeah, I wonder how creepy the book is, bro.
I bet that book is creepy.
Because the movie's creepy. Because I was telling on the podcast we did with Mercedes, we were talking about Stephen King books and how a good writer who's writing those horror books, creepy books about just nasty, disgusting, gross stuff, they have to use like the craziest comparisons and like, weird words to make you feel it. So that way, you don't just read the basicness of the, you don't just read the simple sentence of like what it actually is. They gotta like make you feel the nastiness. So I'm sure that book, because this movie kind of censored a lot of there wasn't much gore. I
would think so, yeah. Like,
despite it being a very dark premise, there wasn't a lot of gore.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what the book is like, because you can do the worst gore possible because you can't see it. It's just words on a page.
Yeah.
Just fictional words on a page, so you can kind of get away with doing the worst things possible.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet the book does a lot better job of describing the smell.
Ooh, yeah, the smell. And being able to think about that. Being able to visualize a smell you might not have ever smelt before.
Yeah.
But just kind of imagining how it would be.
Yeah. And
then being accurate about it. It's just, oof.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
So you liked it?
I did like it. The ending fell flat, but I think it fell flat for a reason.
I do too.
Like, I think the kind of like you've seen No Country for Old Men.
Mm-hmm. Love that movie.
When Llewellyn Moss dies and it's just like, what? He's dead? What the fuck? That was up for a purpose of that movie. like that. They killed him they just kind of pushed his death alongside like that, where it's like brushed over. Like he dies and it just is brushed over in the story. You're like, what? You're confused the first time you watch it. But that was for a very specific point. They're trying to say something with that. Same thing with this ending. I think is a very meaningful ending. I bet a lot of people didn't like it though.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't know. I mean, I guess it's time to look and see how it did in the box office.
All right, let's see.
Because I mean, Jodie Foster was a pretty big actress at this point in her career, I think.
Was she? I need a stand. I need like a laptop, a little table. Like a podium. I gotta get a podium. Because the laptop's way easier than doing the phone. All right, what are we doing here? Oh, yeah, box office. The Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, it was a good book. Or I'm not good book. Good movie. All right, here we go. High ratings on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see. IMDb has been making you pay to see some details of movies. That should be just free information. Let's see if it'll give me the
shit free.
It's true. The release in February 14th. Okay, here we go. Budget was $19 million estimated. So guess there's three numbers here. We got gross US and Canada, opening weekend US and Canada, and then gross worldwide. So 19 million. It's a very classic movie, so you got to know it was successful. So how much you think the gross was worldwide?
You'd think I would have it down by this point.
But it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
It really is just a gamble.
It was a $19 million budget.
Yep. $19 million budget. Gross worldwide.
One on it.
What?
One on it.
100? 272.
Damn.
Worldwide. Oh, so but the US was 130.
Okay.
So you're close. And then the opening weekend, it made 13 million. Damn near recouped its cost in the first 2 days, 3 days. It was good. Use it. You don't remember a lot of it, you said.
Yeah, no, I didn't even remember like the ending until like it started to happen. Like I remember when she finally made it to the main villain's basement or secret lair. Mm-hmm. Like I remembered, oh shit, the lights are gonna cut off. Mm-hmm. But up until that point, like I remembered Hannibal was gonna escape. I kind of remembered that he cut the guy's face off because I mean that was like the trademark of that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember Dwight Schrute from The Office on the. Yeah, like it was the. It's probably the best episode of the show. It's whenever Stanley gets a heart attack.
Yeah.
What's that episode called?
I don't know what it's called, but they're like they're doing CPR training.
Yeah. I know the name. I can't think of it now, but yeah, it's like a 2-part episode, and that's anybody who's ever not liked The Office or like said they couldn't get into it. I was like, watch this episode, and they're like, okay, this is funny. Yeah, I'll start it. But yeah, because I remember Dwight cut the face off of the the CPR doll, and with the mask on.
He said, I wanted to see if it was realistic.
Turns out, yes, yeah,
pretty realistic.
Yeah, because I guess Hannibal. There's definitely some deeper stuff with those two characters combined. He knew him.
Yeah.
He knew the
so
Buffalo
that's
Bill.
the thing. I don't, maybe they go into that more. Maybe the next movie is like a flashback. I really don't know.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's a flashback because he looks the same age. So it's got to be not... if he's the same age, they wouldn't flash back a couple years, probably. Or maybe they did. He was only there for 8 years, so he's only in prison for 8 years. All right, let me see about Hannibal. Because it's 2001, so I really do wonder if it was a good movie or...
But then they made another one, so how bad could it have been?
There's a TV show.
Yeah,
damn, Hannibal Lecter really did blow up.
Yeah.
After this movie.
I think he was just terrifying for that time. They'd never seen a villain just like so poised, I guess.
And I mean that...
And just so in control, but like... Yeah.
You just feel the... Oh, okay, well, I mean, Ridley Scott. Okay, well, it's got trash ratings.
Oh, really?
Trash ratings. But Ridley Scott made it. It's got 6.8 on IMDb, which usually means it's absolute dog shit, and 39% on Rotten Tomatoes. Because usually every single movie on IMDb has a 7, at least.
Okay.
So if you see someone dipping below 7, you're like, oof, it's probably a shitty movie. But it made $350 million in the box office. So
How bad could it have been?
okay, well that sucks. Ridley Scott directed it. Hans Zimmer composed it, and it flopped. Maybe we should watch it. Maybe it's
we
good.
should. Yeah.
But
And then the other
like
thing that I kind of liked about it, so I discussed in the beginning, like when he was imprisoned,
mm-hmm.
and they like had him under radar, and they like were keeping up with like his heart rate, like, and he did kill somebody. They say his heart rate like never went above 80, and so you go from that to when he's like in the cage up in that building, and the officers are bringing him his food, and you hear like the pianos playing.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's kind of like to depict just that's what's going on in his head. Like it's all just very calm.
It's a plan. Like
It's very composed. Like he's in full control. And like
yeah.
it kind of rises like as he's like doing the killing and doing everything, but then like as soon as it's over and he realizes that they're dead, like it just goes back to like a nice, cool, calm piano.
Yeah, he is in full control of himself, because I don't know if you like recognize this from it, but I think what he did is with the pen piece, it wasn't just like in his mouth. He sat there for a second. It was like, one more moment, please. Because like what the trick David Blaine does, have you seen that where he brings the frog out of his stomach?
Yeah.
I think he swallowed it.
They definitely
And then
did.
he
Because
just-
like he was having conversations before that.
Yeah, and then he just brought it back up through his esophagus.
Yeah.
It doesn't live in your stomach, I don't think. I think it lives like right here in your, whatever it's called, food pipe,
Yeah.
scientific term.
Yeah.
And he just brought that thing back up. So he has full control over his body, where he can literally hide stuff in his esophagus. There it is. That's the word I was looking for.
I thought you'd already said it too.
Maybe I just...
I think you did.
Well...
Anyways, you had it right. Yes.
Yes, the esophagus.
Yeah.
That's insane, dude. You can literally hold something in your fucking body. You just like tighten those muscles that you literally have no control over right now.
I couldn't do it.
Because like, like when you get something stuck in your chest sometimes, like that ain't even easy to get down. So how are you going to just hold it there and bring it back up?
You have to got to be strong up here too, which Hannibal obviously is.
Obviously you can train to do that, because David Blaine trained to do it. How do you start that training?
I wouldn't have a clue.
Just swallow big bites of food?
Try and see if you can like cough up pills. It has to, but you have to like do it with things that I don't think you can like digest.
I think your first step is doing the thing where he does the human fire hydrant. You seen that one?
No.
He drinks a lot of water and then goes and like spits it out of his mouth, and like it's a lot, like it's a hose, like because it's so much water he just drank. Like he drinks like a gallon beforehand, lets it sit in his stomach, and then he drinks 2 more glasses of water. I don't know if it was a gallon, but he drinks like a lot of water before he got on the show, and then he drinks 2 glasses, and he's like, all right, here we go. And he just like essentially just puking, but he's controlling the puke. And it's just water because he hasn't eaten anything. So maybe that's step 1. Get the human fire hydrant down. And then you got to maybe take big bites of a burger. Bring it back up.
It's for the freaks, man. David Blaine and Hannibal Lecter can just have it. I'm not doing that shit.
I'm not committed enough to do that shit.
No, I wouldn't get much satisfaction. I'd be like, hey guys, look at this. And then everybody would just look at me and be like, all right, like the fuck? And then they'd probably just never really want to talk to me again.
But when they get drunk, they're going to ask you to do it again.
Yeah, and then that's when it becomes a curse.
Yeah.
Because like I don't want to do this all the time.
Yeah.
They already do it to me enough, like getting me to throw up.
That would be what you can't do would be what you should spend your time on if you're going to do something like that, is just how to chug as fast as possible. Because that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seen that guy? What's the big old guy? He wins all the time, the lemonade chug during 4th of July. Badlands Chugs. You seen this guy?
I feel like I've seen so many people they're like great chuggers. Like we know a couple guys.
This guy's built different.
Okay. What does he do?
Wish I had my laptop.
Well, what does this guy do?
He just chugs so fast, like a pitcher of lemonade just goes gone.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Like he was significant. He's like the Joey Chestnut of the hot dog eating competition, where he just blows everybody out of the water. Same thing with this guy, just blew everybody out of the water with a chug. Like the other guy was like many seconds after he was done.
We have a buddy that can chug a water bottle in like one punch.
Yeah, that'd be cool to do.
Yeah. Shout out Jake Phillips.
Oh, he can do that?
Yeah.
Still?
Oh, yeah.
He might be losing his touch. He's getting old now.
No, I think I made him do it like not that long ago.
Hmm.
But he can do it.
Because
I don't know how you just lose that talent.
I've seen the man shotgun a beer in like 0.5.
It's exactly.
Not really, but it's
No,
pretty
I
fast.
mean, it seriously is. It's
It's pretty impressive.
yeah.
I wish I could get to that.
Yeah.
I'm not slow, though. I can do it pretty decent.
Good for you, man.
Thanks, bro.
Your kids will be proud of you.
You're not very good at it.
I'm awful at it. I have no shame in it.
Can't burp.
Can't burp. Can't burp.
And there's no surgery you can do for your burping issue.
Apparently there's Botox I could do, but I don't know. I don't want to do that. And then I'm just like, oh, wait, I can drink so much beer. I don't want that. I'm okay with being limited by what God made for me.
I'm pretty sure you being able to drink more beer would help you out.
Says you.
Because you want to drink liquor and get really drunk really fast.
It's not the case. Just a sipper.
That's my problem, is if I drink liquor, I've found out after some deep analysis is that I just drink liquor like beer, and they're always doubles because I always pour them tall. And I just get way too drunk, way too fast.
Got to find that self-control, man.
Beer is my self-control.
Beer's your self-control. I just, instead of a double, maybe I'll just get a single.
Yeah. The trick, I think, is to get a shot and then pour it tall with the chaser. For me. Then I'm still slinging them, but I'm keeping it easy.
I think that is the universal trick.
There
That's the way to go. But Silence of the Lambs. What are you rating it?
I'm going to give it, I feel like it would go up if I watch it a second time, but the first viewing, I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Okay, nice. Very nice.
What are you going?
6.5.
So much lower every time.
6.5.
When is the day going to be when we literally get the same score?
As long as I keep going first, probably never. Or as long as you keep going first, probably never.
You mean you would change it if it was the same?
No, but I'm just saying, like, you giving it a 7.5, I'm like, well, when I really think about it.
What were you going to give it originally?
I don't know.
We got to lock it down. We got to lock it down in our heads prior and then give it out.
No,
my
because
score can't sway your score because you just want to fucking make me argue with you.
No, it's not even your score. It's just when you say 7.5, I hear that and I'm like, that just seems a little too high.
It's a classic.
So what?
World renowned.
So what?
$200+ million raised over the course of its life.
So what?
That's impressive.
We've watched plenty of movies at this point that everybody told me I should have liked. And you know what? I just wasn't like that crazy moved by it.
You're just one of those guys.
Not one of those guys. I like it. It's a good movie. Makes sense now that I haven't seen it in a few years because I really just didn't have the craziest desire to watch it. I'll say the same thing about like
Yeah, it didn't blow me away. But it was good.
Yeah.
That's 7.5.
Okay.
Maybe that is on the
To
high
you.
end, but maybe it is on the high end.
Because the next movie that we plan on watching is The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
And again, one of those movies, classic.
Mm-hmm. That one probably, hopefully, will blow us away. You've seen it or no?
I haven't seen it.
Nice. Me neither.
Okay. So we'll go into this blind.
Stanley Kubrick. Right?
What do you mean?
He made
the
it?
director?
Yeah. Pretty sure Stanley Kubrick made it.
I just know it's Jack Nicholson. Here's Johnny.
Your brother say that a lot?
I say it to him all the time, and I've never seen the movie.
Yep. Stanley Kubrick. The GOAT. One of the GOATs.
One of the GOATs. Again, one of these movies where everybody's like, you gotta watch this one. It's a great one. And I will watch it.
And you will hate on it.
I will not hate on it. If it's good, I will, I will say it's good. I hope it blows me out of the water.
Okay.
I hate going and watching a movie, and this isn't the case, but there have definitely been movies in my life where I've watched a movie that I was really hyped for, and then it sucked. Like recently, there's this Will Ferrell, Jamie Foxx movie where it's like a comedy and they're dogs. It's called Strays, I believe.
It's new, right?
Oh yeah.
Trash. It's a kid's movie.
No, it's rated R.
What?
Yeah, dude.
That's the issue, bro. If you're gonna make a rated R, cartoon movie like that, was it vulgar?
Yeah, but like you said, it was kind of kiddish. Like there were life lessons to it and stuff like that. And like I get it, whatever, it's nice. But it's like, dude, if you're gonna go that route, don't make it a rated R movie.
Yeah, don't. Like you got to make it like, what's the funny kid? The new Superbad style type of movie. It's like about the little kids and they're bad.
What movie are you talking about?
Good Boys.
Good Boys.
You never seen Good Boys?
I don't think so. Which one is Good Boys?
I think it's called Good Boys, but it's got 3 kids. They're young. They're like in elementary school or middle school. Like they're probably 6th grade max. And they're trying to go to their first like party as like middle schoolers, I think. I think they're transitioning into middle school. So now they're going to their first 6th grade party, if I remember correctly. And they just cuss. They're trying to get beer. They go to a frat house and they steal Molly.
Actually, I feel like I did see this like in 2020.
Yeah, they all like they don't drink a beer. They all like are willing to take a sip of the beer. And so like that's what they do. Like they're
Big
all like
time.
out in the woods and
That's
they're like
big time.
Yeah, they're all scared to try the beer, but they don't want to act like they're nerds in front of the cool kids, so they like drink the beer and they like puke afterward because it's disgusting. And they don't take the Molly they don't steal the Molly to take it. They just take the Molly so they could get it for one of their sister's friends.
I'm not gonna lie, when I was 14, I remember I had a buddy over and I knew my dad like accidentally left these beers up in the upstairs refrigerator, which he never did, but he did this one time. And I was like taking shots of beer. Just pouring beer with shot glasses.
When was the first time you drank? How old were you?
I don't know. I mean, I know the first time I got drunk was 13.
13.
Yeah.
That's pretty young.
Pretty young.
What's that story?
Oh, man.
How drunk did you get?
Hammered.
Like blackout?
Like,
but I don't think you black out the first time you do it.
No
matter how drunk you get.
I didn't black out. I mean, I remember just having a great time listening to like a lot of Mac Miller. It was definitely because of an older sibling of mine. I'll let you guess which one. And I think my parents must have been out of town, and that older sibling
Here's Johnny.
And that older sibling had some of his buddies over. And
how much older is Johnny than you?
He's 6 years older than me. So
Okay.
he was in college at this point.
Oh yeah, he's prime time.
Yeah. And I had 3 strawberritas.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. And it worked.
I bet.
I had a ball.
He's getting fucking hammered as a 13-year-old boy weighing
Destroyed.
100 pounds probably.
And then I really don't want to snitch, but well, no, I won't talk about that on here. But 14 years old was even crazier.
What is that? You can't just say that and then not talk about it.
I went to a party. It was fun.
Then you got plastered.
Yeah. What else are you going to do at 14 years old and at a party you're not supposed to be at?
I think 14 or 15 is when I first got drunk. And I got drunk off of, what are they called? A Palm Breeze.
Palm Breeze?
Palm Breeze.
Palm Breeze? Never heard of that.
It's essentially it's a sweet soda. It's like a girl's drink. Carbonated. It's got a little alcohol in it.
You got to ease into these things when you're
I'm not gonna be
13, 14, 15.
Yeah, I was 14 or 15. Yeah, and I was at a trip with my buddy, and his parents let him drink, and I was like, hey, asked my dad, I'm like, hey, can I please drink? He's like, all right, baby, we got to be careful, and like, walk me through it all, and then got hammered. Just got so drunk.
One thing that I remember like drinking earlier and compared to now is like I remember I could like feel it in my face way more. Yeah, that was just me. Like I remember my face would get numb.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that was just like I don't know. Like
I remember
the first time doing anything.
What's odd for me is that like when I'd get really drunk on accident, obviously, because I never try to black out drink, but I fucking will black out. I'm not trying to like get that drunk, but it just happens because it sneaks up on me. But I always black out. Like I don't remember from a point on to the rest of the night. But when I was first started to drink, as a kid, I remember I never blacked out. I remember vividly a vivid memory of me being hammered drunk, stumbling to pee, and then running back. But like remember feeling like, whoa, yeah, I'm drunk.
Yeah.
But I was there.
But
consciously.
now that doesn't happen.
No, when I'm stumbling around, I'm gone.
It's just wild because I don't get blackout like that often. I mean, it's probably happened like a handful of times. Like just
really
doesn't happen to me. I still have that whole like, okay, I'm drunk. But now I'm older, so it's like, okay, I'm drunk. Time to go to bed.
Now that I haven't drank, like I don't drink that often like I used to in college or, whatever. I do think I don't black out as quickly as I used to.
That's good.
Because I've heard if you drink a lot and if you get yourself to black out enough times, your body will just start to be like, oh, he's drinking again. Shut it down.
Dang, that would make a lot of sense for, I feel like, I don't know, a lot of adults that I see drink that have been drinking for a long time. And I'm just like, how are you so absurdly drunk? And then maybe their body's just like, oh boy, here we go again.
That's what, the comedian John Mulaney?
Yeah.
He talks about when he was going through he was drinking
hardcore,
a lot.
And just getting messed up.
Yeah, he said his body, when he would just take one or two drinks, he would just black out immediately. And he talked to somebody about it, and they said that it's because your body is shutting down. Like it knows what it's about to get into, so it's prematurely shutting down.
Jeez.
Because your brain's ready for the trauma you're about to ensue on your body with all the alcohol just pickling yourself.
Holy shit. Yeah, I've never had that problem before. Like I always am able to like recollect what I said and did, not necessarily meaning that I haven't said anything I don't regret, but at least I remember saying it.
Yeah, not me.
Like there have only been like a handful of times where I can tell people like, dude, like I really don't remember that at all.
The good thing is though, is that,
but that's a good thing. I feel like,
yeah, I don't think I have, maybe there's like one where I like was blackout drunk and like did something that I was like really regretful for, of like, damn it, why'd I do that? Yeah. But most of the time I just do fucking stupid shit. Like one time I went to a party and I got really hammered, and I woke up with my ankle hurting so bad and a giant whelp on my elbow, and I had no idea what happened. And whenever the crew gets back together to come recollect the night together,
you gotta start putting the pieces together.
I was told that I fell down the stairs.
Classic. Yeah.
Just rolled my ankle hard, fell down, busted my elbow. Probably hit my head. I had to have. Yeah,
typically. Unless that elbow just really took everything.
Yeah, but
I've never blacked out. And
that's like the kind of stupid shit I do. I start dancing on tables, jumping on stairs, falling down.
Yeah.
That's about how it goes.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I've never blacked out and murdered two cops and used one of their faces as my own. Like I've never done that.
Good for you.
Yeah. I've never like eaten another man's tongue or any human's tongue for that matter. I've never like blacked out and just killed a bunch of fat girls and started sewing their skin so I could look like a beautiful woman.
I'm happy that you have not.
But we know two guys that have, and they were sober. And you can too.
We don't know that.
In Silence of the Lambs. Fuck.
We don't know if Buffalo Bill was sober.
We don't know if any of our friends have never done something like that.
Until we do.
What if we know some serial killers?
I think maybe not know a serial killer, but we at least have come across and met a psychopath.
Yeah.
You ever heard that story of the guy? It was a scientist studying psychopaths, and he had everybody screen because to be identified and labeled as a psychopath, like legally, you have to have committed a crime. So there's a lot of psychopaths in the world, but
they're not classified.
They're not classified because they haven't done anything bad. So he took all the markers of what it takes to be a psychopath besides the criminal activity, and he was doing this test, and it was all blind study test, and he had everybody do it, him, his class, everybody that he could find to do this test is to see how many psychopaths there were in like a random selection group. There's only one, and when he come to find out, it was him. He was a psychopath, but he doesn't want to be. But he doesn't have the emotion and the empathy of everybody else. Like when he loves his wife and his family, but he doesn't really feel anything about them. And when he started to think about it, he's like, damn, I do feel weird around my family. Like, not feel weird, but I don't feel what I think I should be feeling. And so he found out that he was a psychopath because of his own study, trying to figure out
That's deep.
the psychopaths. That's pretty crazy.
Fuck, are we psychopaths?
You ever cried about somebody or something sad?
Yeah.
Not a psychopath. I don't know if that's the actual.
Oh, damn.
It's got to be, though, if you cry about something that, like, somebody, it's got to be a...
I don't know.
Because you don't feel love. You're just kind of yourself. You don't have any empathy for people.
I don't think I'm a psychopath. I think I'm just a regular old guy.
You haven't cut anybody up, so that's a good sign, too, that you're not a psychopath.
No. If I did, I wouldn't be able to keep it together.
That's how you know you're not a psychopath.
I'm not a psychopath.
All right, Gray. You got any final words about the silence of the lambs?
The lambs are still screaming.
And they will never stop screaming until you figure your shit out.
God bless and amen.
Let's hope the end of the world is not soon. We're out.